How's it going, everyone? So, because of the isolation stuff, we're not getting to see each other and hang out like we used to. Not that I get to do that a lot with 3 kids and a wife that works. But of all the people I've met, not very many people know, they've seen my Scout, Land Shark, but they don't know the history of it with me. And I'm a rarity because this is the only Scout I've ever owned. And most Scouts owners are like, Scouts are like potato chips. You can't just eat just one. Well, this is the only one I've ever owned. So I've had this Scout since 1994, my freshman year in college. I bought it for $900. Yeah, I actually got a loan for $900 to buy that. But it didn't look like that. When I bought it, well, it didn't look like that either. It looked more like that right there. That's right before I painted it. But anyway, so I bought it in 94. And I've had it ever since. It has, the only thing left when I bought it, it was a Sportop at a 266, 3-speed T90, and Dana 20 twin stick. Had a Dana 30 up front and a 2-piece Dana 44 in the back. It's gone through a lot of revisions, a lot. It's had the 266, and engine-wise, it's had a 266. I went from that 392, went from that to the 196, then changed to a 304, and now it's got a 345 that's fuel injected, which is awesome. It's got Tech, the 400 horsepower in it. Transmission, it's had the T90 3-speed, had a 727 torque flight, T18 close ratio, and now it's got a T19 wide. Transfer case, that was the last bastion, that was the last original part on this vehicle. Was the Dana 20 twin stick. I still have it. It's in this box right here. You can even see the twin stick sticking out because I don't want to get rid of it because it's actually pretty good. See, it's right there. But now it's got a Dana 300. Let's get that straightened out. Dana 300, twin sticked. Axles. I went from the Dana 30. The only time I've ever really paid somebody to do any work on my Scout was a DNC Extreme. And hang on, this thing's falling off. DNC Extreme in Colorado Springs. Eric, they actually did, the Dana 30 had worn out, and instead of rebuilding it, I had them do the Dana 44 with power steering. So it's got that with a Yukon locker in the front. And then the rear, I replaced a long time ago, it's got the flange 30 spline, the 31 spline, Dana 44, with a Lockrite, lunchbox locker in it. 373 gears. As you can see, it's got the LED lights on it now. That is actually, so that's just a Casey daylighter because I've got like 4 of them from back in the 2000s when I had this thing. That is actually a functioning snorkel. You can see that. So this is actually brake vent right here for a racing car, for like, I think it's like circle track, something like that. Yeah, that's the. But as you can see, it's quite a mess in there with the wires. You may not be able to see them, but that's why you're back here, so you can't see those real close. Because when I wired that, I had to go up to up in the mountains, and it was like an hour and a half round trip drive, so I'd only get like 2 or 3 hours to work on it until I brought it down. Let me do a quick walk around though. I'll show you the truck. So let's go. Yeah. Okay, so let's go. Aluminum radiator right there with the shroud, but I bought this aluminum radiator like 10 years ago for like $176 shipped to my door. It works okay, but thanks to the guys at Anything Scout, I got a new champion radiator sitting right here, which some people know what this is. And those that do know how rare this is, but it's a new inlet for the water right there, because this one doesn't work with the 345, doesn't really work with the Scout 800 with this inlet. So this is all modified, and I want to get rid of those little modifications. Cheap winch, works, don't really care. Schmitty built. I've only used it to pull people out of snowbanks. I've actually never gotten stuck. Obviously the power steering. This is all Scout 2 stuff. It's a 1-wire 140 amp alternator. Scout 2 brake booster. You can see these nice custom brake lines. Yeah, right there. Those are nice. Optima battery. There's things I still have to fix on this, because I still have like this breather right here. I need to get rid of that and actually hook it up to a PVC valve and get that plumbed in there. And even though it's got a snorkel, it still needs to be waterproof. People don't understand, yeah, you can breathe this, but there's still plenty of things out here. Like this has to be siliconed. The cap has to be siliconed. There's all sorts of stuff that you have to do to actually get them to go through water. And I've gone through water deep enough where I've had it go through the heater box into the cab. Yeah, that was a fun day. Jamie would remember that. Most people know my Scout because of the teeth, which were recently repainted. Because like I said, I think I showed the picture of it earlier. That's what it used to look like. So really the only thing left on this, the other things I've modified on it, is I put these actually are for a Toyota pickup, rock sliders. It comes with this piece and then 3 runners that you weld together however you want. You can make it flat up. I decided to go up just for ground clearance. Springs on this are a Alcan spring out of Grand Junction, 4-inch lift springs, really flexy. I got Bilstein 5100 shocks on it, steel braided lines all the way around. Drive shafts are custom because there's nothing stock on this thing. Tires, I get that question every once in a while. So these are Tread Right, mud train claws. And so Tread Right, the retreads, but they do the whole casing. They do the sidewall and the tread. So they actually balanced out really well. They run really quiet on the highway. There's not a lot of vibration. They've been to Moab. They've been to several trails up in the mountains, and they do pretty well. Pretty happy with them so far. Let's see what else. So this bumper came off of a Scout 2. Well, it was a modified, it wasn't a stock bumper off a Scout 2, but it's got 1/4-inch steel plate underneath it for the winch. Let's go. And then before I went to Moab, I had these vented louvers because this 345 retains a lot of heat, which is good, but I needed a way to get the heat out, and that actually helped out a lot. These are just generic little vents. Let's go and close this. So this, I've had this thing for like 15 years. I bought it just because I knew eventually I'd want to do some kind of air intake. This is actually off an International tractor. But yeah. So this is the first video I'm doing just to introduce and say hi to everyone because, again, we're all stuck indoors and, not getting to see everybody. Quick little review of, you can look around my garage. If you can't tell from all the wall metal posters, I'm a pilot. So I love all these metal posters. Neat story about this. This is the original radiator out of my Scout 800. You can see I wrote, that's the last leak. That was the final straw when it started leaking again. There's a neat little metal sign from Milt's at Moab. I just like it because it looks like an In-N-Out poster. The The only 2 awards this Scout has ever won. And it's kind of funny because they are, 16 years apart? No, 12 years apart. I don't know, long time apart. Ugliest truck for the Southwest Scout Roundup, 1998. So yeah, they're 18 years apart. Oklahoma, obviously. Ugliest truck for that one. And then the only other one I've forgotten is from the 23rd IH Rendezvous in Fairplay in 2016. And terrifyingly enough, it's ugliest truck. Now, in my defense though, that's when my truck looked like that. And the paint was old and it was all crusty. And yeah, so then below that, I used to have a 79 Datsun. That's the license plate from it. Hubcap from an international pickup I turned into a clock. That was a Christmas gift. Nice little IH sound. Now, I know a lot of people have the IH refrigerators. I would love to have one, but they're kind of hard to find. And if you ever had an old refrigerator, you know they kind of suck because you have to, defrost them a lot and they're heavy and whatnot. So I took a $50 refrigerator that I found on, I think it was Craigslist at the time. And I spent $27 on spray paint and an IH tractor sticker kit. Is what I did. So you got a little binder boneyard, you got a little roadkill on here, but then you've got all the air cleaner, Denver Lyle, stuff like that. And then I made my own bottle cap opener with the Detour beer and the IH truck limit spray can to catch the bottle caps. Then I have my collection of Detour IPA with the Airstream getting towed by the Scout 800. I got the bottles, cans, and I was able to get the actual case. And then the last thing of Scout stuff. So I've got another IH sound, and this is the Scout banner. That's the original steering wheel to the Scout. I'll do an interior video tomorrow, and then we'll move on from there. But then I've got all the toys, which I blame my buddy Jamie on. But I've got some of the stucco ones. I got the tow truck, the full top one. This is the little Scout my son put together. This I call my junkyard from when the kids were playing and they broke a bunch of them. And you keep going down. I've got some really old ones right there. Got the RC 800, a little display 800 right there. That one, the Scout 2 is really cool. My buddy Brian Waldorf, he does models, like really detailed models. I'll do a little closer video of that at a later time. That thing, I told him just to run with it, and so he made a Scout that looks like a rusty old Scout. It's really kind of neat. And then you keep going down, just some more Scouts, just the models, little Metro, 240Z, because I used to drive Z's. Yeah, that's kind of it. I have the KU banner because from Kansas. So the neat part is I have 2 4-wheel drive vehicles now. This is the family car right here, little 7-passenger SUV. But I've got the 1966 Scout, which my baby. And recently, because my wife really loves me, I got a 2016 WRX. So I have 2 4-wheel drives that are 50 years apart in age. And they're both really fun to drive. Okay, so that's it. I'm just introducing myself because a lot of you guys, I've seen your rigs. Looking forward to getting freaking out of this isolation crap, and hopefully we all make it out healthy and happy and all that fun stuff. But yeah, I'll do a little more video on the interior and the back end of the Scout, and everybody stay safe.